Well, on this final day of Black History Month, we are paying homage to a man who broke barriers in the Madison community and on television right here, WMTV.
NBC 15's Hannah Flood has a look back at Carson Gulley's legacy.
The year is 1953. WMTV just started broadcasting in Madison. Housing was still segregated and Jim Crow laws were a reality for African Americans across the country. But that was the year Carson Gulley and his wife Beatrice made history with their TV show What's Cookin'. But they were better known for their work outside of the kitchen, fighting for equal rights.
He was the sweetest, nicest human being. He talked to the camera as if he were talking to one person. What's Cookin' was a show, of course, of Carson Gulley and his wife, and I was a cameraman on that program.
65 years later, Boris Frank looks back on his time working in the WMTV studio on Carson and Beatrice Gulley's cooking show.
He was really the forerunner of black involvement in television. He and his wife were the first black couple that had a television program.
Yeah, I mean, that was very revolutionary.
Betty Banks remembers Gulley as a mentor to her father, who was also a cook.
As black people, we are all very proud to know him.
We looked at Mr. Gulley like we did Jackie Robinson.
Dr. Richard Harris remembers him as a local icon.
We were so proud that he was on television. He was a humble man, but he was a proud man.
He was a giant in his field, and he lived right here.
Carson Gulley was first known as a prominent chef at UW-Madison, and especially for his famous fudge bottom pies. He spent nearly 30 years feeding college students at Tripp Commons. Even though he was well known for his work there and for his TV show, he still faced discrimination.
Racism was extremely prevalent. Some of the things that he had to suffer, the indignities, was just trying to buy a home.
At least one community voted not to allow him to own a home in their community.
They had to actually have white people buy homes for them and then resell it back to them.
Gulley became known for his work outside of the kitchen, working as an advocate for equal housing. Even though he was a highly regarded chef at the UW, he still encountered racism on campus.
And he was passed over for promotions, and he probably was the best.
And for him to go through all of that at this time with all of this injustice going around him, now that I think about it, I wonder, how did he maintain his sanity?
Gulley died in 1962 and was later honored with a building in his name. For many, he and his wife are remembered as monumental figures in Madison's civil rights movement.
He was a trailblazer.
He would say, this is how life is right now, but you can change it. He really broke barriers.
He should be better known for what he did, not only as a chef, but as a social justice pioneer.
Beatrice Gulley passed away in 2001. What's Cookin' ran on WMTV from 1953 into the early 60s.
Just a fascinating look back at a guy. I mean, I, as a student, ate at Carson Gulley Commons 100 times, and I never knew the full story behind him. Thanks for bringing us that. That is really fascinating.
Absolutely. It was very interesting researching all of this and learning about the history not only in Madison or on campus, but right here, too.
Yeah, and they still served his fudge bottom pie. I don't know if they still do, but when I was a student in the 80s, they did.
Well, I'll tell you what, later I have a treat for you.
Oh,
so you have to stick around.
All right. Thanks, Hannah Flood. We appreciate it.
Everyone,
Hannah, this looks good.
You've been waiting for Carson Gulley's famous fudge bottom pie. We've got the recipe up on our Facebook page right now. I'm not a big baker, so take a bite. Let me know what you think.
This I used to eat this all the time at the university.
It's good.
They still
really
sell it
A lot
there.
of textures.
They still.
It's really good, though.
Thank you.
Really good.
You're now the official baker of the newsroom.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So
I
we'll expect a pie
one of these
every
a week.
day.
Right? Well,
Probably
we want
not
you
good
guys
for
at home to try it. Send me your, get out of here. Send me your pictures if you do give it a shot.
Okay, so on the Facebook page right now, you'll you'll see them, you guys making it, the recipes there.
A video and everything. So please share with us your photos if you give it a shot. Thank you for trying it, guys.
Oh my gosh, get this
So
away. I've
Carson
almost eaten it all.
Gulley's fudge bottom pie is on WMTV once again, all these years later.
A legend.
Great story, Hannah. Thank you.
Yeah.
And great
guys.
pie. I bet you wish you had some.